Hi, folks. Welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show. Joining us now is my friend Jared Max, WCBS 880 sportscaster. Hello, Jared. Well, maybe not. Is Jared there?
How are you, my friend?
Hey, Jared. Steve. Good to talk to you. Boy, you know, we don't have a whole lot of time, but boy, oh boy, we have a lot to talk about. NBA. New champion. Of course, if we have time, we'll talk about the Rangers losing to the Kings, and of course, the untimely death. And why don't we start there? The untimely death of Tony Gwynn, who had been ill with cancer of the mouth, supposedly caused by the chewing tobacco, and he died at the age of 54. Hall of Famer, wonderful player, and it caught a lot of people by surprise today.
Steve, one of the most beloved baseball players, certainly of my generation in the last 30 years. And why did we love Tony Gwynn so much? Because of his work ethic, because he showed up every day and he didn't showboat and say, hey, look at me. It was the work ethic. It was the loyalty. He spent 20 years with the same team. This is a loss for baseball fans, but this is also a great loss for the city of San Diego. Tony Gwynn was all about baseball, known as a scientist of hitting. People would stop what they were doing to watch this guy in batting practice, not because he was hitting 400-foot home runs, but because he had a systematic way. I heard this great story today. Batting practice, he'd start off 6 to left field, 6 to center, 6 to right, 6 to the left side of the infield, 6 to the right, 2 bunts, and that was it. And people would say, wow, that is the way it is done. And also something else, I had a conversation with my brother about this today. We think, why do we love Gwynn so much? And we also started talking about Kirby Puckett, who died so young at 45.
And you know, Jared, I thought of that immediately. They're the same. They're cut out of the same mold.
There's a relatability factor, right, Steve, where a lot of times with athletes we don't necessarily relate. But something about Tony Gwynn we love. He's just a working man, and then he starts to become kind of this, you know, pudgy guy, and the same thing with the roly-poliness of a Kirby Puckett. You think of other stars like Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, lovable guys. O.J. Simpson, before, obviously, who he was as an athlete. And I think about this and tie it in with the NBA Finals because a lot of people don't like LeBron James. When I was a sports talk show host last year, I would regularly get people sending me, Yahoos on Twitter would write me, you're a hater, you're a racist, because I would say Carmelo Anthony, I thought, is a selfish player, has a terrible way to approach the game. And I think Tony Gwynn is the type of athlete who brings something to light which says, please stop the argument about race, because it's not about race about this. Tony Gwynn,
of course not. Yeah.
What a gem.
No, go ahead. I was going to say that the accusations of racism because you don't like a basketball player is as stupid as saying you don't like Obama, you know, because he's black. I mean, I didn't like Clinton either as president. I mean, that's ridiculous. But let's quickly talk about the Miami Heat. I mean, you got to love the San Antonio Spurs. You got to love the players involved, Duncan especially. 3 different decades, 3 championships in 3 different decades, and a total of 5. The coach, the longest reigning coach in any of the major sports. I mean, the work ethic. I've seen him talk to the players when he's mic'd up. He talks to them. He tells them their value. He tells them how good they did. He tells them what they're worth to the team. He tells them how proud to be of themselves. I mean, this is an example to be followed.
You said it all, Steve. And I think by this point in a lot of these guys' careers, for a long time, we always heard the argument, Tim Duncan, what a boring player. I think at this point, people were rooting for Tim Duncan, and really the extra matter, hey, let's beat the Heat and LeBron James. But what Duncan has done over his career, you look at the teammates of Ginobili and also Parker, and then you look at the emergence of Kawhi Leonard in these NBA Finals, you have to root for these guys. And hey, you know, Steve, you know, you like to mention this because I know you're a New Jersey Devils fan, but my
got about 10 seconds.
My hockey team is better than the Miami Heat because we lost in 5 games, but we didn't lose by a record more than 14 points in every game in the NBA Finals. Tony Gwynn.
Jared, we'll talk at length. We'll talk at length another time. I thank you very much. We'll be back with more of the Steve Malzberg Show, but first, here's some tips on eating healthy.